That's a big leak. It could be a disconnection also. The chest tube could be misplaced, the dressing could be violated, or there could be a break in the tubing. Do you agree? Okay. If there's no leak, there's no air movement. Okay? So it's a leak meter. There's three big features of that chamber. First one's a leak meter. Second one is this. When the patient breathes. This is the patient breathing spontaneously. Okay? It's a manometer. Shows the negative pressure in the pleural space. What's the maximum negative pressure if I'm at 10?
30, 35.
Why?
Because you have 20 over there.
That's right. We have negative pressure here of 20, and if it's there at 10, then it's minus 30, right? If we don't have suction applied, I just have to normalize the pressure there, then, and the negative pressure goes there, then it's, in that case, it's only 5, right? Does that make sense? So if you don't have negative pressure here, then it's only what you see on that manometer. Make sense? Okay. It's a leak meter, it's a manometer. And here's a really important feature, super important. Now, it doesn't let air go back to the patient because the reservoir here is big enough. The negative pressure here, or this height of this column, won't let air go back because it's all liquid filled. So it's a one-way valve. It lets air out. It will not let it in. If it let air back to the patient, that's a dangerous condition because the pneumothorax, you're going to get Marky Mark syndrome, right? Mark Wahlberg got that tension pneumo in that video. If air gets back there, that's bad. What George Clooney did was he put in a thoracentesis in his chest. He let air out, and he told Marky Mark to open that stopcock periodically just to let out any accumulating gas. Okay? But in this case, it'll be let out constantly. But it won't let it back in. The challenge is the patient's creating a negative pressure in their body. That could be the motivation to draw air back to it, right? But this won't allow it because of the underwater seal. Very important feature. Manometer, leak meter, check valve. 3 huge ones. Now, one thing, we use these with suction applied, and we use them without suction applied. Okay? So, without suction applied, what I would look at is I would say, you know, remember, hourly, we're probably monitoring what's coming out of the chest. Are we getting any blood or pus or anything? And we're going to mark down the date and time every time we do it. Hey, guess what? For 24 hours or 48 hours, we haven't had any liquid stuff coming out. That's a check mark that maybe we can look to wean. And I'm not getting any more air coming from the pleural space. So the pneumothorax and whatever the other problem was are probably rectified. Now what I do is I turn off my suction. I disconnect it, right, from suction, and I can just monitor, right? And the idea is that if I don't get any more here, and I don't get any more here, I probably can take the chest tubes out, right? But let's say that I don't have suction on and a pneumothorax accumulates. Then what happens is this. Now, Belvira, I need you to look at this. Just hold it. There's a little blue ball in the top of that, right? You see it? Okay. Normally, when suction applies, air goes out to your suction system. But I don't have suction being applied. But I'm going to make a pneumo. So just keep your eyes on that. And yeah, but everybody else note, we would see bubbling in the water seal chamber if air moves, right? So watch this. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen. Okay, did you get wet? I didn't mean for that to happen. That's the first time it's come out when I pushed that hard. What happened was we saw air leave here, right? And we saw, what do you see this little blue ball do? It lifts, and it lifts with 1 centimeter water lifting force. So air is going to leave. It's going to exit the system. That's an important feature. It's a positive pressure relief valve. Okay? Thanks, and sorry if I got your toes wet there. Okay? The other thing that you need to be aware of is there is a button on the back of these units, the high negativity relief, and you saw it in the video. What happens is if a big negative pressure gets stuck on the patient's side, we could push that button and it will relieve it. This button's broken off on this one. That's how they make them disposable, right? So what we would see is the ball would drop back down. When you hit it, it's got a filter there so it doesn't suck in a spider that's living on the back of the unit or any dust or anything.
When, say your patient fills
Yeah.
all 3 chambers or whatever,
Yeah.
do you just toss the unit and bring them a new one?
That's right. Yeah. You go put it in the back seat of somebody's car who you don't like. Yeah, you basically will seal it up. You can clamp it or cap it, and then it goes, it's a biohazard, right? So, because it's probably got nasty stuff or blood in there. So.
And I thought that port just eject the water is for like if there is too much positive pressure in there, it's allowed some out. Yeah.
That's what it did. But I pushed too hard and I didn't mean to get Delvere. I generated so much pressure that I threw a little bit out of the suction control chamber.
So this was that positive pressure in, and this one.
No, yeah, this is called high negativity relief valve. So just be careful how you term that. This makes the pressure more atmospheric because it allows it to communicate and drop the ball that could be stuck. Your high negativity float
When
is stuck at the top.
get a high negative.
Probably stripping the chest tubes. You know, patient can generate a negative pressure, but only so much in the thorax because of the lungs and the mechanics of the thorax, right? They're limited. Normal pleural pressures are probably maximum less than -10. Okay, there you go, guys.
And we need some help over there.
Okay, sure.